part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Smackdown, because Smackdown had some pretty cool stuff. I was actually pretty impressed with Smackdown this week. So you had the U.S. title finals open the show. It was Kevin Owens versus Legado del Fantasma, or whatever his name is.
I do love me some Kevin Owens, though.
The one that,
I will say that
Carlito called out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's that's not it.
The only thing that's coming to my mind is Eclair, and that's not right. Like
that's French.
It's Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You were not even.
Well, he had a faction called Legado del Fantasma.
Oh, Phantasmos.
But yeah, Santos Escobar, which I really like Santos Escobar as a heel. I think he played a great heel in NXT. He's playing a great heel now. It'll probably be who Andrade feuds with. Andrade will probably end up being the savior of the LWO or whatever, which I think is cool. And it puts him back with Zelina, but I digress. So they had. Should we start a counter of how many times I say I digress? And we'll just.
I mean, maybe we can leave it up to the audience, and then they can comment at some point in time and let us know.
Yeah, how many times? I feel
like that might hurt your feelings for some reason.
It might. Yeah, I might be devastated. But yeah, so we had the U.S. title finals. Kevin Owens went over in that. I think at the Rumble, as much as I can't say that I don't like Logan Paul. Obviously, his character is that you're not supposed to like him, and a lot of people don't like him, and that's fine.
I'm looking at your desk, and you currently have a Prime on there.
Well, I do like Prime, but it's not because of Logan Paul.
Have you seen the one that glows in the dark?
He had it the other day.
I have a whole case in my fridge.
Of the glow in the dark one?
You want to try it? It's like green apple.
I do want to try it, actually.
Yeah, I'll let you try it. It's delicious. Drink Prime. Sponsor us, please. Anyways, Logan, if you're listening, I hope you win. I'm just kidding. I hope you lose. But
can I just say something about Logan real quick?
Yeah.
So I think the whole thing with Logan Paul is people are trying to continue off of his YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
They're not actually taking him serious as a wrestler, which I think is wrong.
YouTube.
Because he can wrestle.
He's good. He saved
everything that I have seen.
Ray's neck. Literally.
Yeah, he saved Ray's neck.
Yes.
In that match. So I mean, he knows what he's doing as a wrestler. So I think at that point in time, what he did in his YouTube days, yes, that got him to where he was to be able to go into WWE and everything like that. But I think he made some mistakes on his YouTube channel that made people not care for him. But just give the guy a chance now.
The thing is but his whole shtick is that he is controversial.
Yeah.
And that he is America's douchebag. I mean,
I don't think he could ever be a face.
No. Because when
all.
he was a face, when he first came in, most of the fandom still booed him. He had his fans, but most of the time he was getting booed, and that's when they turned him. And I'm telling you what, when they turned him heel and they let him do his thing, I will tell you that Logan Paul is, for a newcomer like he is, by and large better than most of the people on the roster.
Really?
I mean, I don't know if you've seen him wrestle a full match, but recently, God, that freaking match he did with Roman Reigns was a freaking classic. Did you see that spot he did with Ricochet at the Rumble?
Mm-mm.
I did see that.
Oh my God. He was on one side of the ring. Ricochet was on the other side of the ring outside. And they bounced on the ropes and clotheslined in midair.
That.
Yep.
That was his third match ever.
Yeah.
Who does that? And the man is a natural talent. And I'm not saying that like he's my favorite wrestler, but my God, like I gotta give him props. And him and Kevin Owens are going to absolutely tear the house down. Okay, so so after the match, Logan Paul comes in, tries to talk smack. Kevin Owens punches him in the face and knocks him out.
We love
and like
that.
legit like punched him in the face. Like he had a freaking, they posted a picture of me like a black eye. I'm sure Logan told him to do that, but
he's like, yeah, go ahead.
But so then we had
I mean, I would take a punch from Owens.
Yeah, we had Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits cut a promo talking about how they're going to be back on top and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, Karrion Kross comes out, and then
that's a bad
Scarlett,
dude right
and then El-Ring, I think was his name. I found out was the Road Warriors manager. He's like famous, but anyways, recently he had been managing AOP, and so as soon as you see the dude come out, oh shit, AOP's back. Authors of Pain. I really liked AOP. I think they're powerhouse team. They come from behind, absolutely destroy Lashley and the Street Profits. Karrion Kross has a pump handle modified F5 finisher that he does now. It's not an F5 because he doesn't have them like horizontal on his shoulders. He has them kind of vertical on one shoulder, and then he like does the spin down, but he lifts them like with a pump handle. Like it's kind of cool. I think the pump handle's a little over the top, but it's a cool move. It looks real devastating, especially when they did it on Lashley because Lashley's a bigger guy. And so now we have a Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and AOP faction. I think that this will finally be the push that Karrion Kross has deserved since he's come back. I think that when Karrion Kross came back, Triple H had every intention of pushing him to the moon, and then Vince took back over and squashed it, and he's been a jobber ever since. I feel like Karrion Kross has been just an enigma of a character because he does these really eerie, like the kind of promos you would expect from like a Bray Wyatt, and like these real creepy, eerie, and then he just loses every time he loses. So I think this will finally be his redemption. I'm really excited to see what they do with this. If they ruin it, then I'll be like, dude, just like freaking don't renew your contract because you go to AEW for real. Like, you'll probably never hear me say that. But then we had a surprise match for me. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it was Mia Yim and Io Sky for the women's title. I love Mia Yim. I think she's like almost like a Karrion Kross for me. Like I think that they really need to push her, and this shows me that I think she's getting ready to get the push that she deserves. Great match. She did a Styles Clash on Io Sky from the second rope. It was real devastating looking. And so that was cool. She obviously lost, but whatever. They had a tag match. It was Butch and Tyler Bates versus Pretty Deadly. This was Tyler Bates' main roster debut. Tyler Bates has been pretty big in NXT. He's a scrawny guy, very similar to Butch kind of style. He does a pretty cool finisher. I don't remember what they call it, but obviously him and Butch went over. And then you had the top contender match. It was AJ Styles versus Randy Orton versus LA Knight for the number one contender match, and fantastic match. Great match. I mean, number one, I'm glad to see AJ Styles back. He's looking freaking jacked. He is performing very well in the ring. Obviously you've got Randy Orton back, who the fans are. This match was great because AJ Styles is playing the heel, but you've got Orton and LA Knight both playing faces, and it was a cool dynamic to see the audience's reaction when it was LA Knight and Randy Orton going after each other, because everyone's cheering Orton, but everyone is like, I feel like from what I remember, they were all about Orton. They were pumped that Orton was there, but as soon as LA Knight started taking his licks, dude, LA Knight immediately went over Orton. I mean, LA Knight every time, every punch. I mean, it was LA Knight always got the upper hand with the audience, in my opinion, from what I saw. Obviously, whoever was beating up on AJ Styles was getting big cheers, but when it was Knight and Orton going after each other, I think Knight was preferred. Which makes me hopeful, because that to me was LA Knight's test. Like, if he can get over Orton, then he's not just like a flash in the pan. But then obviously, Roman Reigns' music hit right at the end. They're all three in the ring, down, out of breath or whatever. Reigns' music hits with Solo and Jimmy. They go, they're beating everybody up. They just absolutely annihilate everybody. They accidentally bust open LA Knight. Like, just, it was the Bloodline doing the Bloodline thing where no one came to save the three of them. Like, the Bloodline just fucked them up. And, but I was expecting Nick Aldis to get on the mic and be like, hey, like, as soon as Roman Reigns' music came on and they started coming down to the ring and they went to attack, I literally was on my couch and was like, oh, it's going to be a fatal 4-way. Because there would have been, for me, there was no other reason for Nick Aldis to already be out there. He sat ringside for the whole match. And so I was
who
like,
is that?
He's the new GM of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they went back to traditional GM roles. And so now, Nick Aldis is GM of SmackDown and Adam Pearce is GM of Raw. Nick Aldis had a backstage segment last week with Roman Reigns where Roman Reigns basically says, like, you don't do anything involving the Bloodline unless I approve it. You don't do anything around here unless I approve it. Mm-hmm. And Nick Aldis was basically like, I don't think I need your approval. Like, I'm the general manager, so I think that kind of makes me your boss.
Right.
And so obviously, like, they're playing that like Roman Reigns has a problem because Nick Aldis is not Adam Pearce, and he's not just going to like roll over and to do whatever Roman Reigns do what he wants. And so Nick Aldis is at ringside. Roman Reigns comes out, runs roughshod over everyone, and as soon as he came out, I'm like, dude, it's going to be a fatal 4-way. I know it. I thought they would announce it on the mic, but I think that the way they did it was way better.
Yeah.
Because as they're going off air, you've got Nick Aldis following behind Paul Heyman, and as Paul Heyman turns around, he's like, oh, don't follow me. Like, what are you doing? Get away from me. And he's like, hey, tell your boy that he just bought himself a fatal 4-way at Royal Rumble against all three of these guys for the title. And it goes off air with Heyman's face white as a ghost. Like, oh shit, I have to tell Roman Reigns that he now has a fatal 4-way. And then obviously I literally was checking the rest of the evening because, like, I know they're going to do a digital exclusive with Paul Heyman telling Roman Reigns they're not going to put that off until next week. Mm-hmm. And I got that payoff, and it was so funny because
when is Royal Rumble?
The 27th, and that's been the other theory is that Orton wins the title at Rumble, which then allows them to do like a number one contendership thing at Elimination Chamber, where then Cody would go on to face Orton at WrestleMania, leaving Romans versus The Rock with no title, and then Punk versus Rollins. So that's the other option. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think they're having Reigns drop the belt at the Rumble, but I've been wrong before, so who knows? If they're going to do it, this would be the easiest way for them to do it clean, because then Orton could pin AJ Styles or something, Right. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Roman Reigns will figure out a way to win. He'll have help or something. Someone will come in. They've been talking about potentially Jay turning heel again and joining back up with the Bloodline. Do you remember when Nia Jax? You remember when Nia Jax entered the Men's Royal Rumble and got RKO'd? Yeah. God, that was funny. I was hoping, and it didn't happen, and it should have happened, and I don't know why it didn't happen. I have no idea why Rhea Ripley didn't get RKO'd the Raw after Orton returned. They primed it perfectly, and they didn't happen. I don't know why. And if anybody was going to do it and get away with it, it'd be Orton.
Yeah,
it's PG era.
John Cena needs kicked in his face for that.
Yeah. But I mean, they did it at the Rumble with Nia Jax.
Yeah, but that was
during
Rumble.
the PG era.
But that was a live
special occasion.
But see, that's the thing. It's like, of anybody on the roster, like, and I don't mean this in like a negative way, but like, the fans don't view Rhea Ripley in the same light as all the other female wrestlers. Like, she is one of the guys.
Right.
Yeah. You know, like...
But that's how she's made herself.
Like they've built her character like that. And so I feel like at this point, like, they really just need to, like, lean into it a little bit. And just like, dude, have her take an RKO or a stunner,
or an accidental clothesline, or be up on the side.
Yeah,
of the ring,
like
be up on the side of the ring and get hit by somebody bouncing off
like,
or something.
I am just waiting for her to interfere in like one of Dom's matches or like one of the Judgment Day matches against someone like a Kevin Owens or a Randy Orton, and then just like lay her out.
Right.
And dude, the place would go nuts.
They would, 100%.
Yes. They would go
Absolutely.
crazy, and like people would love it. And I think it's exactly what they need to do. And I think it will push Rhea Ripley over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it will solidify her as the dominant woman. Like, because I have no idea who the heck's going to beat her. Like, who the fuck's going to beat her?
Jade.
I can see that. I can see that for sure. Which I do think Jade's going to be debuting at the Rumble. I can't imagine her. I think she might win it.
Yeah, I am hopeful. I don't remember because, of course, this time of year we all have those leakers and stuff like that. I don't remember who they said was winning.
I think it was Bayley.
I think so.
Yes, it was Bayley, which is weird.
If it happens, I could see it happening because I could see that then forcing her face turn. Mm-hmm. She will eventually get kicked out of Damage Control.
Oh, there's no way she doesn't.
They're going to get there. She's going to get turned on with the Kabuki Warriors and like, which I think is brilliant. I think that what they have going right now with that faction is going exactly in the direction it's supposed to.
Oh yeah.
Bayley got it started. Bayley got it over like as a legitimate heel faction. But I think it's time.
Now we need to do something.
They need to get her out of there, get her back single, give these talent who, other than Asuka, who I think they brought Asuka in as that Bayley replacement, as the veteran that's going to help guide them to keep them relevant. Let the Kabuki Warriors, Io Sky, with Dakota Kai kind of being that manager type role until she's like not injured anymore. Right. And like, let them do their thing. Get Bayley back in the singles thing. Have her be a face for a while. I think she does better heel work, but she hasn't been a face in like almost 4 years.
Right.
And so it's like, I don't know if they should bring Hugger Bayley back. I would love that because I thought that was great. But
oh my gosh, no.
It was so funny to me. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys hear the news that it is expected that Sasha Banks will be debuting on AEW imminently?
Yes. I'm going to add that to my list.
A lot of people are also saying that we've got another CM Punk situation on our hands where she'll end up back. She's going to end up in the WWE, and the WWE is like denying it because the report is that talks have stopped.
Yeah.
And that there are no talks with her anymore. They fell through, and they're not happening.
They could definitely pull. Fell through because of money.
Yeah, like she wanted like $25 million or something, or that's
Good
what
for her.
Well, that's what she agreed to with AEW. Is the rumor that it was a $25 million contract?
Christ, how much money
but here's the thing, and I read this, and I have to say I agree. And I've always thought this. I've never been a Sasha Banks fan. I think she's way overrated.
I would agree with that.
I read something on Twitter yesterday that said, because a lot of people are saying that essentially like Sasha Banks is like, it's great that she's like advocating for herself, blah, 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 blah. And like, you know, she needs to fight, not accept less than what she's worth. And they compared CM Punk's return at Survivor Series to Sasha Banks, and they were like, CM Punk like debuted like, and the place went absolutely insane. The Raw after he debuted was like freaking way sold out.
Yeah.
Merch is selling. Like, he is making so much money for WWE on his way back that it is unreal. Versus Sasha Banks debuts in New Japan Pro Wrestling with almost zero impact to that promotion. No one cared about her really over there other than people in America. And like people just don't, she does not have the level of impact that she thinks she does. Or no, I'm sorry, they did not. I got that wrong. They didn't compare CM Punk's return to Survivor Series. They compared his AEW debut to Sasha Banks. And it's like when he debuted in AEW, it was insane. Like it was anything everyone could talk about for like weeks.
Yeah.
Whereas when Sasha Banks is debuting in like AEW and stuff, like no one freaking cares. And I think that she has this perception of herself that she's a little bit more important than she is. And you know, hey, if she can get her bag. But I've never liked her. I think she's terrible mic work. I hate her on the mic. But I digress. There it is again. We got that new Japan wrestler coming into WWE soon, Julia. That's spelled super weird, but
yep.
Yeah. Well, so give us what notes you got, our final thoughts.
Naomi's coming back to WWE after where is she at, TNA?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is happening soon. Like very soon.
Her contract's over soon.
Potentially by Rumble. I don't remember if it was that soon or not.
In that leaked list,
I think she's on that list. Yeah, I actually have it pulled up. I was just looking at it.
Which I will say that I've looked at a leaked list like that every year, and it ends up almost never. Well, typically the winner, but it's like the winner is almost always predictable.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't need a leaked list to know. Like,
right. Like right now, we're like, oh, CM Punk or
it's
Cody
gonna
Rhodes.
be Rhodes or Cody or Punk. Like if they don't do that, that's when I'm like, oh shit, you know, like
right.
oh shit, like.
Because these are the stories
like that one
telling.
with who was it, Cena and Batista, where like they went through at like the same time, or that was a Hell in a Cell match.
No, that was the Royal Rumble. It was Cena and Batista. And
when
that was a botch.
That was a botch. Yeah,
blew out whatever.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. No, that wasn't that part. That wasn't that time.
Yeah, that was different.
Yeah,
this was at the Rumble.
Yeah,
Cena
what you're thinking about was like back in like early 2000s or late 90s when Vince came like marching out to the ring and jumped in and blew out his quads. Yeah, and then had to sit there and try to be mean.
So funny. But yeah, this was the Rumble.
Stupid
Cena
head.
and Batista eliminated each other at the exact same
time. Yep. It was a total botch.
Dude, no, they were like, what the fuck do we do?
Because like the SmackDown ref was like, "Oh no, Cena won," and then the Raw ref was like, "No, Batista won." And
what did they end up doing?
I honestly don't remember. I think so. Maybe? Yeah, I really don't remember.
But
it was interesting.
What's so funny is I think the last 2, maybe 3 years of the Rumble, they always do that big spot where Kofi Kingston gets eliminated, but like saves himself, and he's botched it every year.
Yeah,
for the last couple of years, and stays eliminated. It's so funny. And I love Kofi Kingston, but
how can you not?
I saw something that backstage morale is up at WWE with Vince no longer in charge, and that guy recently quitting.
Yes,
yes.
A lot of people were pumped about that.
Yeah,
I didn't
were very
know much
excited
about him, but I think he was one of the final Vince holdouts.
Yes,
like final Vince era people.
Couldn't tell you his name to save my life.
He was like the production guy.
Yeah, he looked like a very basic white man.
Speaking of like WWE guys, you know who Danny sounds like right now?
Who?
Good old John Laurinaitis.
Not laryngitis.
Kevin Dunn.
Fucking laryngitis.
He has been.
No, he doesn't sound that bad.
He has been with WWE since WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, time for you to go.
He produced WrestleMania 1, and he has made WWE the production giant that it is. But yeah, it's like we'll see you. A lot of people are saying like they really hope that they bring those 8K cameras back now that he's gone, because I guess he's the one that like nixed them. But everyone,
the ones that make him look like a fucking video game.
Yeah, like Roman
Jackie
Reigns
hates
walking
those
down and like looked like a fucking video game.
Yeah, she absolutely hates those cameras.
So weird.
He nixed them, but I guess a lot of people liked them. I don't know.
I thought they were cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
The internet is sharing a lot of pictures of AJ Lee being super jacked.
That is true.
So everybody's talking about, again, she's on the tease list. Everybody's talking about her coming back or making an appearance.
I could see her going into the Rumble as a surprise entrance, but not
being like one of those
back.
special guests. Yeah, but she was also doing a show on Stars called Heels. I believe she was in that show.
Bianca Belair and Montez Ford they're gonna have
they're gonna have a show.
Yeah, so she's not on the leaked list that I'm looking at right now.
Really?
But that Deanna chick is on this list.
See, that's what I'm saying.
The one that's definitely not going to be there.
The one that's just signed with AEW, because she literally said that she was all elite at that.
That's
so
why
like,
I'm always just like. Now there are typically lists that will come out like 2 or 3 days prior, and those ones are almost always spot on.
Yeah,
but the ones that come out like this soon,
yeah.
I just like to look at them.
Oh yeah, me too. Because it's like, what if? That'd be cool.
And then the last thing was there have been like pictures and stuff of Jade training at the dungeon with Natalia. Sorry.
Natalia would be I'm sure that's exactly what she needs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, when they addressed her at what was the last PLE? It was War Games. Duh. CM Punk came back. Stupid.
What?
Anyways, but yeah, when they asked about Jade at the Survivor Series press conference, Triple H basically said, like, look, we have huge plans for her. Like, she is going to be huge. So. However, like, we have to make sure she is ready for those plans.
Yes.
We're not throwing her into this and, like, her not be prepared. She needs to be prepared for everything.
Yeah.
Right. She definitely needs to work on her mic work. I didn't think she was very good on the mic.
No.
I don't think... I mean, she is jacked, but I don't think that she could go... I don't think her cardio would be as good as what they would need for her to be as a champion, because they do like to have the longer matches.
Yeah.
Even as the women's TBS champion over in AEW, like
she was
5
basically
to 10
just
minute
feeding
matches.
her people, right?
Oh,
yeah,
she never lost except for her very last match.
So I mean, when you have a situation where, like, cool, it did great to like build her as a star, but from a longevity standpoint, you're just feeding her talent and they're doing 5, 6, 7 minute matches where you're squashing them. Like, you're not gaining the actual star power for when you're ready for the big leagues. Like, you're not going to be ready. You know what I mean? Like, you put her in the ring with Becky Lynch, like, you're going to look stupid, you know? And so I'm glad that they're not just throwing her in and saying, let's bank on your AEW star power to get you over. Yeah. They're saying, hey, you're coming in with star power. When you debut, people are going to go freaking batshit. But we want to make sure that after you debut, they're going to go even more batshit. And then we have a star on our hands, not someone's going to fizzle out in 2 months because you can't wrestle very well.
Right. Because you can't keep up.
Yeah. And because
which
she has
is
so
why
much
I'm
potential.
glad Triple H is in charge. I mean, sorry, Double H.
Double H. If they do, and I really, really hope they do. I hope that Jade doesn't win the Rumble, and I hope they do Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. That match will be fucking insane.
Why specifically that?
Because 2 reasons. Number 1, they're both jacked.
Right.
They are both... Bianca Belair is an incredible worker, and it will be... just like that, like just having 2 women of color, like going at it in a marquee, like
in a big deal
match, having that be her first real like PLE premium match for Jade against someone like Bianca Belair, who is just universally over with the crowd, especially if they have Jade Cargill go over in that match, will absolutely set her up for success. And it will be a history-making thing, and like it'll be great. I think that would be a great move for them to do. I know you guys don't like Bianca Belair, but she's an incredible worker.
I don't like her. I just don't like the stupid ponytail.
I don't like the whole EST thing. I get it, but like,
have you heard any of her like heel promos in NXT?
No.
You've got like, it makes so much more sense. They need to turn her heel. I don't know why they haven't, because she played the character, and maybe this is because I have heard Bianca Belair has been at times upset about some of the stereotyping that they've done with her character.
Right.
And I will say that when she was in NXT, like they did kind of have her play the kind of like hot Cheeto girl, like real kind of like ghetto, like, but she was like the heel, like just like that like girl, like that comes off way more devastating as a heel than a face. Like when she said it as a heel, you're like, that kind of hurt my feelings, you know, like, but like she does incredible heel work if she leans into that character. But it could be that like she just doesn't want to play that character because it is a bit of a stereotype, and I get that. Like, I don't think she should have to do that, but I think they should find a way to turn her heel because I think she does great work there. But as it states, like as her exists now, if they have Jade play the heel character, I think that'd be an incredible match.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of who else they put her with. Like, who else do you put her with? Rhea? Like, yeah, cool, but like, do you really think she goes over Rhea Ripley? No. Like, not with trajectory Rhea Ripley.
Right.
No,
and
like,
I think, I mean, again, as much as I don't really like Bianca, but I like where you're going with it. I think because, like you said, it would be a history-making thing because, what was it, a year or two ago that it was an actual women's main event at, I think it was WrestleMania.
It was Sasha Banks and Bianca, yeah.
Yeah.
And that match, like, God, I call that the shot hurled around the world when she smacked Sasha with her hair. Yes. Oh, God. Dude, my stomach hurt.
I do remember that.
My stomach hurt. Like that, dude, it literally sounded like a whip. And, yeah, that was a great match. But honestly, like, it was a historical match, but I don't really care for Sasha Banks. I don't think Sasha Banks is that good. And so, like, to me, it kind of fell flat. And I was, like, pumped that Bianca won and, like, it was that kind of thing. But, yeah, that match would be great. The only other person I could see them putting Jade up against would be Io and having Jade win, but like that to me almost seems like a squash.
Right.
That seems like the matches that she was doing in AEW.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, honestly, with like size-wise and stuff like that. Not saying that Io's bad.
But then also like, but yeah, that's the thing. It's like if Jade is not fully prepared, like that's going to make Jade look stupid because Io is damn good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Io's going to wrestle her ass off. And if Jade is just clunking around in the ring, not ready for Io's style, it's going to make her look stupid.
Yeah.
And so it would make more sense to do a safer bet and put her with another powerhouse type worker like Bianca, where they can actually like kind of what
beat the shit out of each other.
Bump meat. It sounds weird.
That sounds
weird.
I don't think Jade's going to have a title match maybe even this year.
Yeah, they may not do it as a title match. Like it might be too soon to like put her in the title picture
because they're gonna want to build her character here versus over there.
What about starting her as like a tag team?
No, they're doing that with all the women now. All of them are in tag teams.
That's fair.
The only women that are not in tag teams are like Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, and freaking Charlotte.
Right, the people that are currently either injured or feuding.
Yeah, it's like literally almost every other woman is in a tag team.
Remember
and then,
when we were like,
or some kind of faction.
Well, Ivy Niles not in a tag team right now, but she kind of is. She's with the Creed brothers, which let's not sleep on the Creed brothers. That tag team is going to be champions soon. those guys are fucking insane, and their finisher is devastating. It's called the Brutus Ball.
Love that.
Because one of the guys, his name is Brutus, literally gets them up on their shoulder like the electric chair thing, and the Brutus guy does like a cannonball dive into them as they do the electric chair slam, and it looks like the person that's receiving it is dead. Like, yeah, it's an incredible move. But yeah, those guys are
right now
just athletic.
The final thing for sure that I want to touch on is one of the promos that CM Punk cut during his AEW days was him talking shit to MJF about headlining a buy one get one free kind of thing. And we're talking about CM Punk being in one of those title matches potentially at WrestleMania where he will be a buy one get one free night.
Yeah, but I mean, how much of that was character work? I mean, and maybe it was sincere at the time, but
he's had to swallow all of that.
Yeah. Are you watching the Brutus Ball?
Chuck's Isn't that devastating to this right now?
I mean, he just crushed poor Giovanni, bro.
Dude, he just literally like he's dead. Speaking of, and this could be the last thing we talk on because you kind of brought it up. I mean, do you think this whole MJF thing right now is just a work that AEW's doing? Like, he's not on the roster anymore. He has said he is not resigned.
Mans is injured.
Oh yeah, he's super injured. But I don't
taking him off. He's not on the roster in AEW anymore. Like he has stated, I have not resigned, and I don't know if I'm going to. And even Tony Khan is now saying we hope that we work with him in the future, but he's been great with us. A lot of people are saying he shows up at the Rumble.
But I mean,
I don't think he's going to show.
No, his shoulder is so fucked up. He's going to have surgery. If he
has surgery, he's out for a year.
How is that a work? A way to write him off AEW so that he can transition?
What would they do with him?
Dude, he is.
I mean, he's a mouth, but
he's real good in the ring, right?
He is. Yes.
And I mean, I think that he is over.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like a lot of
especially
people are
after
worried,
the shit with Cole.
A lot of people are worried that if he does go to the WWE, like, what the fuck's AEW gonna do? Like, you know,
yeah, I mean,
they don't have someone to replace him.
Yeah, I mean, 100%, and I would agree.
And I think Triple H, I think we are not in the Vince era. Like, I think Triple H sees that shit.
I honestly don't think that his shoulder injury is a work.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
But if his shoulder's that bad, AEW can't possibly have allowed him to do a match with Samoa Joe.
That's true, but I don't know. I could see him going to WWE, but
not now.
I don't think Tony Khan would let him go.
If WWE wanted MJF, I think WWE will get MJF.
I think it would be after everything that's been happening in AEW with MJF and Adam Cole and stuff like that, where he's the devil and all that stuff. Like, I get how that has kind of ended like an MJF storyline. So if he's going to leave, I think now would definitely be the time for him to do it, because there are no storylines going on for him right now. So,
and it would be that like self-fulfilling prophecy of what Adam Cole was saying on Dynamite. Like, you know, everyone's thinking he's saying, well, MJF is never coming back.
Right.
And everyone's
MJF's
like, oh no, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, he debuts in AEW or he debuts in WWE, and now it's like, oh shit, no, he's not coming back. Adam Cole was right, and that puts over Adam Cole.
Right.
True.
Like, Adam Cole's speaking truth. Like,
right.
Okay, so now they can build Adam Cole as the threat of AEW with this faction as someone to truly go after Joe.
I guess I didn't really think of it that way. Yeah. Because even if MJF did come back, I don't think he could compete with Joe again.
All he's gonna do, if MJF comes back, they're putting him right into a feud with Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's all predictable again at that point in time.
I mean, it goes into the same thing. I don't know, like, and I will say that is the one AEW star that AEW kind of raised that I have actually kind of followed and I really like. I like MJF. He is a good talent. He is great on the mic. I want to see MJF and LA Knight so bad.
I mean, yeah, I could see that.
Can you imagine?
Or could you imagine them as a faction? Like those two.
God.
The promos that
those two could pull. Even,
But
against each other would be fucking insane. God. But going back and forth on the mic as a tag team.
I can picture now, dude. Like LA Knight doing his with everybody saying, and then MJF interrupting it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Like that feud would be so good. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that, I think we'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, like I said, it's at this point in time, like you said, with the TKO Endeavor thing, and there are people that are upset with the locker room and AEW right now with all the Chris Jericho thing that's going on. So, I mean, at this point in time, I'm not going to put anything past anybody.
So, with them being so hush-hush about it, you don't typically, with something like that, unless you're trying to pull the wool over, unless they're trying to do the whole CM Punk Survivor Series return thing and keep it, whatever. But why do you, if you've already re-signed a contract, why do you say I haven't? And why is Tony Khan being so freaking squirrelish about it? If there's a contract on the table, he's re-signed. So I don't know. Maybe it is a work, but it seems weird and fishy to me. But
guess there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
As we wait to see what happens.
Stay tuned.
Right. Well, stay tuned to the Main Event podcast, and we'll let you know.
Cool. Well, anyways, y'all take care, and we will catch you on the flippity flip.
Bye.